He got the pop.
I'm a 10 now.
Yes.
That went up quick.
That went up real quick. That's a jump scare. From a 2 to a 10.
Damn. No. He went all the way up. I swear to God, I'm a 10, baby. I said earlier in that video.
I didn't know.
Oh my God, dude.
That was a good one.
I will say this about the pros and cons of college before the doctor get on here. A lot of people that went to college are not in their field right now.
I agree. That was coming out.
100%.
That's one of the
I
cons.
know.
That is one of the cons.
Know it is.
And on top of that, I know a person that owe $140,000 in school that never got their degree and make minimum wage right now.
Wow.
Oh, you good? You can leave it there.
Make minimum wage.
It's like $19, $20
And they
an hour.
got
This
their
is
degree.
minimum wage now.
And they owe how much?
Minimum wage is like 15, ain't it?
So they make 17. Okay, a few points above that, right?
Yeah.
They make minimum wage. They owe about $140 in college.
140,000.
$140,000 in college.
So they done
Never
maxed
finished,
out.
got their degree. Because you got to think 10, 15, 20 years ago. Because you got to think 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was $20,000 a semester. And you steady going a semester, you go on the books, and then what did we mess up at? Getting the loans.
When you
Getting
get that
financial aid,
financial
getting
aid,
the
Guess
loans.
what? Guess
That
what?
money
We were
was-
not taught properly. We were not told. We were
Pay
not.
for them books. Quit jagging their money off on restaurant food.
Or if
We
you
were not
took a
set up.
loan, that money that you took, that you got back as a check, you should have gave it back.
And I feel like, but we weren't set up that way. Like now, I feel like they have a better advantage. Like with me, when nobody's sitting you down talking about finances, you know, like she said, when you get them loans, whatever it's paying for, that check, you send it back. Don't go blowing it. Don't go doing this, that, and the third. Work towards it.
But my
We had
folks be
work
needing that
towards
check though, bro.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, you need it. But now,
But
you still
look
gotta
at
pay
it.
for it. It's on your
Yeah.
credit report. You know what I'm
Unless
saying?
you apply, unless you work for like a
Right,
public
exactly.
service and you apply for that forgiveness loan, a lot of people did get it. Let's just be honest. A lot of people loans have been forgiven, but you had to put in so many years and you'd have to pay so much of it back to get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
like with that, they had to pay 10, 12 years.
yeah. Or
So
you deferred
whatever it was times.
and you had to work
Paid
in
all
like
type of interest. How you gonna give a college
hospitals,
student
any
interest?
social service, or you had to do something that was public service in their eyes for your loan to be forgiven.
Yeah.
So if you went into business and you took out $300,000 loan, you was just about to pay. You gonna pay that money back, or that's just gonna be on your credit.
But if you took out $300,000,
That's overkill.
whatever type of
nobody's taking that much out.
But,
as
but
an
whatever
undergrad.
type of field you went into, you should be able to pay that back. $300,000, you should be
No, you
a
gotta
doctor,
think about
you should be
what,
a lawyer, you
well,
should
something
be
like
Depends
that.
on
Because
what
your
type of
loan was
position.
your loan pay $1,000, $1,200 a month. Who coming out
Minimum.
paying that with a mortgage? Right?
Minimum.
Who doing it? They know
Because
what
that
they
loan,
doing.
baby, that payment. Oh my goodness.
You got the least. Well, you got 100-some thousand with that compounding interest every day.
Yeah.
You would have to come with like 25,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just to try to knock it down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really.
Because you got a lot of
put
interest
some
in there,
money,
right?
'cause
Interest is ridiculous.
throughout the years, you accumulating interest even when it's in
Yeah.
deferred. You
You
still
still
accumulating
accumulate
interest.
interest.
So that money don't go away. Like, so for me, pros and cons for me. I grew up in a house where education. My mother pushed education, right? So but me and my little brother is the first to actually complete our education all the way through. Like my older siblings, my brother stopped at high school. My sister stopped at some college. But me and my little brother, I was the first to get my master's. Then my brother followed me. I started my PhD program first, and then he followed. He graduated first because I took time off, and then it was me.
Okay.
So, but in my family as a whole, we are the first 2 doctors in our family.
Okay.
So education was pushed for us because we didn't know anything about trade, going to a trade school or whatever. It was get your
College.
education,
In college.
finish school, get you a job. Now I agree, a lot of people do not land in their field. When I was growing up, when I was in college, my mother wanted me to go into nursing. I didn't care for science, right? Science was not my thing. Growing up, I said, "Oh, I want to be a pediatrician." But then, as I got older, what caught my attention was psychology.
Okay.
I was focused. I really was like infatuated with how the mind works and how people think and process and all that. So that's what I ended up gearing towards that. Luckily, I ended up in my job that I'm currently doing deals with my degree. But not everybody, like they say, like you got people that go for a doctor of philosophy. What you doing with that? And I'm not saying like that in a bad way, but I mean, but here's the thing. The good and bad when you have your degree. Certain job, because you have that status, they have to pay you at that status, right? They have to bring you in at a certain amount because your name carries. Versus you got someone that's just a regular college student, you're not gonna make what, you know, depending on what job you go to, they can't match you, right? If I would have to do it over, I'm not gonna say I would not go back. I wouldn't have gotten my PhD because this is something that I wanted to do. I paid my way through school. Like when I started my PhD program, after my first year when my mother passed and I lost my scholarship, I didn't take no more loans. I literally dropped my tuition money faithfully to finish my degree. So that's because this is something that I want. Now with my son, I'm not gonna force my son. If college not for him, you ain't gotta go to college. But I'm gonna show you how to do a trade. You're gonna learn something. And in all honesty, going to trade, a lot of kids, like even the kids that I mentor now, I speak on them like, go to trade, do a trade, because you're gonna come out making more money with a trade out the door. Even while you're doing your program, they're gonna put you in a job where you're gonna be making money versus you going to school for 4 years and then now you're waiting to get a job and seeing they hope that somebody pick you up.
And you got student loans on top.
And you got student loans.
Because it's some jobs.
You gotta pass the test.
I just saw this thing about middle class people showing how to get free bachelor's degrees because they was seeing their kid for they turn 18. They sign their parental rights over to their grandma who's not working.
We went to college with somebody like that.
And I didn't know that. Yeah. Of course I wouldn't know that.
We wasn't talking about
that. Wasn't talked about. They were like, you gonna pay it back.
And she was literally the only person that we knew that did that.
See what I mean? So what it is before you turn 18, you're not an adult.
Right.
Okay. So what you do is you assign your parental rights over to someone who's like retired, like a grandma, who's not making any money. Yep. They will qualify for low income, and then they get the government to help them with
the bulk of that money.
The bulk of that money to pay for it for the college degree.
And it's not the like the loans that you take out. It's like grants.
It's grants.
So you turn your parental.
You'll sign your rights over to your
grandma.
Income, retirement, something like that. Like they could just be getting Social Security.
Yeah, they giving them that.
Right.
Right. So it's like I was looking at. I'm the type of person I look at a lot of documentaries. I was looking at a documentary. So during the civil rights movement, right, when blacks supposedly was fighting for equal rights, which I feel as though was bullshit. So back in those days, black people had their own baseball league, basketball league, the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, education was free at that time.
Yeah,
they was not paying for education. So the thing about what the documentary was saying is, what the fuck was they marching for? What rights is it that y'all needed and y'all had everything? They had the trades. They was doing all the building. They had all the trade schools in the urban communities. So dude, the point he was making was, what was the purpose of you all marching for? What rights did you want?
They was burning down and they was burning everything down, taking everything down, just like with 1921, 1922, the Oklahoma thing. They took everything. That's what they was really marching for. Everything was segregation. And then how can you empower somebody? You gonna kill my pig, so I can't get no swine, right? So I gotta go shop at the white person's market. So it's more of a segregation fight. I'm more than anything. Because remember about the first black girl that's equal right, the first black girl that sat down at the school. They not saying that, hey, we dumb over here, but just as y'all getting good education from these good teachers, we want that too. So I kind of get what you're saying. I think it was more or less of we want just as much.
It was more like integration to me.
But in the 1920s, right, when they did, which Black Wall Street was one of the very minimum communities they did bomb, we still found a way to get back on our feet. We had hospitals. We had grocery stores. We had schools. Well, HBCUs. We had all these.
HBCUs are started by white people.
A lot of people like HBCUs.
HBCUs is not.
I understand that though, but we had our own everything. So what I'm saying is this.
But having it and keeping it was
two different things.
I feel like
so if you got a bank, they're like this. You got your education. You got everything. You got your certifications and everything. If I don't hire you, it doesn't fucking matter.
It don't mean nothing.
So I got all this stuff, but you're not gonna hire me. What does it matter?
So that's just like, for example, right?
Equal rights. That's
when you had, for example, Tyler Perry, he had everything. He had it all, or whatever it is. He didn't need these motherfuckers. He chose to cross over and go to these motherfuckers and make a deal with them, for maybe for distribution reasons, to make his shit go mainstream. And but you have
he
your
don't
people.
have it all.
But listen, hold on. Didn't we just make a point in the last one we did about how this world run off our dollars?
Yes.
So,
but we are control. We are control.
Right.
He can have all the movie studios in the world. If I can't put it out,
it
it
don't
doesn't
mean
matter.
nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Because you need them somehow to put it out there.
It's just like
we
when
don't
the
have
we
any-
do it with ourselves.
Well, no, it's just like when the movie come out, they be like, it's only gonna be played here,
Right.
here, and here.
Right.
They're not gonna play it over there,
Yeah.
right? It's just like when you got a lot of black cinema come out, right?
Yeah.
It ain't played in
It ain't played
pay-per-view.
everywhere.
It ain't
No,
played in
it's
some.
not.
It's
No,
only
it's
played
not.
in certain
Certain
places where they
areas.
deem that they're gonna make
We
their
can
money
look at
from.
commercials.
But when a white movie come out,
It's everywhere.
It's
everywhere.
But when we, for example, if we twerking, for example, twerking started from a black person.
Of course.
They started twerking, and what a white person did.
she tried to
What's
make
why
it
I'm gonna
copy
say
our
a
style.
white person, YT, a smart person.
Somebody else.
They
Yeah.
took it and trademarked
Right.
it.
Monetized.
They
They trademarked it.
Yeah.
So
It's derogatory when we do it, but it's something fascinated,
It's always like
Let
newfound
me ask
when
y'all
they
this.
do
So
it.
have y'all seen the Chinese hip hop?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
I've
talk about
seen
the Zumbawalkies, or what is it called?
Jabberwocky.
Jabberwocky.
They
Jabberwocky.
got. You know how long they been in Vegas?
Oh
Yeah.
man, for years.
Yeah,
But do
for
y'all
a
know
long
how
time.
they dance?
It's
Off
our
the
stuff.
hip-hop
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
They was able to monetize off of that, right?
Mhm.
So that's what it is as far as we say the ownership and really back to the 1920s and what we don't have. Think about what, like, I've watched just yesterday these guys from hip hop. I mean, they dancing just like us, for us, by us, right? But you won't see a dime of that money.
Not at
No.
all.
You won't see a dime of it. So that's really, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
The bad part
so
of
like,
it.
what's
too.
your point though, bro?
what
Like,
I'm saying is, I guarantee you this: if all black people took their money and just invested their money only into black people, they should have started collapsing.
Oh,
In a-
for
in a-
sure.
in a very
Under the
great
collapse.
world,
It,
yes.
it would automatic start going under. So then and that was the thing about I found out back in Black Wall Street when in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, everybody was fucking with us. Everybody wanted to do business with us. We had who we didn't want to do business with was the Rockefellers. We didn't like anything about them. We felt as though they were shiesty. They didn't like that shit. They like, man, y'all want to do business with it. It was the Rockefeller, I think, and the JP Morgans. They like, man, we don't like that shit or whatever it is. So what they did is they sent motherfuckers out there who look like us, act like us, walk like us, talk like us, to go out there and one of them, matter of fact, was W.E. Du Bois.
Yes.
Yeah.
Went out there, man, get favor with them, man, laugh, giggle with them. They showed them everything that they had. He went back, gave them the information, what's going on over there. I believe it was 2 weeks max later, bombs started coming over there.
Yeah.
They blew the whole motherfucking town up because you know what we had? We had oil, bro. We had oil over there. We had all that shit. So what I'm saying is this. That's our problem now. They know they can get black people off their pockets. If black people all just fuck with each other, them motherfuckers, just like how it was back once upon a time, they'll be coming at our door asking us, how can we do business with you?
That's the
real.
problem.
Then
But we
again, I
gotta
see where
get to
y'all
that
coming
point.
from. I see where y'all
It
coming
has to be a mindset. We have to get to that point, but we so
And we
stuck
not
in
there.
I gotta get before
Mine.
you.
I gotta get mine.
I can't show you how to get on because then you might plateau
yeah.
before me.
Yeah.
As opposed to we all put it out there, we all gonna eat, we all gonna thrive, we all gonna flourish.
So let me ask you this. So on this podcast,
We got the doggy
the
dog
past few
world.
podcasts, we always
mentality.
talked about what we don't do with black people. It's like, man, we do this, we be
Right.
fucking up. So I want to just put this out here right now, and I'll start off with you, going off what he said. What could you do to flip that switch of being helpful to black people? What could you do yourself?
Well, what do you see good?
Or what do you see good in black people of you wanting to do that?
Well, I tell you this, I think we need to get more financial literate. Like,
Yeah.
Financial literacy.
our literacy is horrible.
Okay.
It's horrible.
That's
And
true.
I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. Before, I was so happy with Bitcoin it made everybody invest. Nobody, like, I know how many people my age was not investing, or they were like, I got a 401k, that's good enough. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Like, I got a 401k, I got a pension. I don't need to look at no stocks. When they saw that money come in with Bitcoin, I've never seen so many people go ahead and get a Robinhood account. Just to have it, it was something to get involved, to show, oh, this is how you make money. Like, I was telling some people, I was like, yeah, you can borrow against your portfolio. And people were like, what? Like, yeah, it's better than your 401k. Your 401k is trash. You borrow against your portfolio, you pay yourself back, there's no interest. And there's no tax. You borrow against your 401k, it hitting you with this.
That's even what a whole entire life is.
But nobody's going to know. For everybody that's watching this video, now they get to see exactly what he said, because this is going to come across 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people going to be like, let me rewind back what he just said. Because that's something that a lot of people, I knew about it because somebody told me about it. But now you able to tell people what it is. You got to be willing to put it out there.
Sometimes, like I just said, we want to hold on to stuff like it's ours. It's not.
It's not.
Knowledge truly is power. I know it's cliche, but it truly is.
Most definitely.
And we lack a lot of that.
I had a European guy. I was in Santo Domingo. Flew into Miami. He was a millionaire. And he taught me how to get rich with foreign currency. And you know what he said, Shante? Do me a favor. I don't want you to make it sound like a bad way, but don't tell too many of your people, okay? Have a good day.
And what people do?
What people do? You're right. They not sure.
But I didn't, though. I went and told people about the currency.
Point, it'll look
and
just
like this. Yeah. He goes like that. I told a lot of people about it, and when that time comes, it's going to be like, man, but back to one of our segments.
But if you put that knowledge out there, that's on me, that's on
we
that
so
person.
used to scamming, but everybody don't scam.
It.
But it's engraved in our mind that you scamming me. No, I'm actually trying to help you. Like what he just said, I can guarantee you, we go get about 20, 30,000 views, and somebody's gonna say
it's a scam.
It's a scam. What he talking about? Because if you get it from this way, it'll be that way.
Next year they're gonna be in the same predicament, in the same spot that they in.
But that really gonna be them paying people to come on your shit and say that shit. They actually pay people to come on there and be like, oh man, don't listen to this or don't do this or this bullshit or whatever it is, blah blah skip. Whole time you speaking real knowledge. So, but it also people first thing when they hear some knowledge like that, what you saying, they gonna go to the comments.
Yep.
They ain't gonna really instead of researching what you said.
I'm gonna listen to what everybody.
I'm gonna research what he said.
I'm gonna go to the comments, see what everybody said.
And the comments is just everywhere.
So if the comments sway that way,
they gonna go that way.
Instead of researching
what he said about the 401k, and then what else you was saying about it?
I was just saying, get a portfolio. Yeah. Way better than 401k. 401k, like when you find out that the people at the bank that you, let's just say your 401k with, they're selling products. Right. Yeah. Their job is to sell these certain products. Yeah. They don't even talk about these other products. You know what I mean? Because their job is that they get commissions off these products. So when they don't talk about that. People don't understand. Overdraft fees, they make billions off that.
Yeah.
So it's a business. Everything is to profit off you. So
and they taking their money.
And they taking the money.
They just took it last year. I think was it last year, 2 years ago, $10,000 Vanguard.
Yeah.
Took like 9 to 10K out of motherfuckers 401k. It just vanished.
Just took it. And then it was
illegal.
We ain't trying to hit shit. But you gotta think about it, what you signed off of. It is legal. When you first sign that shit, when you start your 401k, you don't read all that shit.
Right. You just go straight down.
So when you call it, the line's tied up. And then when you call these motherfuckers all the way in India talking this type of language,
because it be in the print. We just don't read it. If we don't take time to read.
Then I was like, ooh, I got 20K in my 401k. I'm gonna go grab it.
No, you can't.
Let's just get this penalty together, and let's where's this hardship that says that I should give you back your money.
Documentation.
Right. And you better have all the documentation of this hardship. So basically, take my money, and I ain't giving you shit because you ain't got a real hardship.
And plus, they don't understand. Once you put your money's gone. It's not legit there no more.
Even in your bank account.
Money. Even in your bank account. It's always gone. They here to make money off your money. They give you this 0.001%.
I was just showing Vance today. Yesterday we were just talking about that. I'm like, man, I got this amount of money in the bank. I was like, man, I have to do something else with this money. Now, granted, it's making about $180 to $200 a month, but the amount of money that I have in there, it should be making way more than that. Bro.
You know something that I like?
So I feel like I learned that a savings account is bullshit.
You
gonna see 3 pennies in that motherfucker at the end of the year. So I took out all that money and put it in a match market account to where it's making like $200 a month. But I still feel like that money's really not in there. Right. Y'all taking all this money I got
and they're investing,
bringing it back.
Flipping it.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they want to get rid of the paper dollar.
Yeah.
And once it become all digital currency,
they're gonna be able to control it.
They're gonna wipe us out.
They're gonna control it.
They're gonna be able to control you.
So it's like something that I actually got it. It was a Latino who put me on. It was 6 years ago. I started into a whole term life insurance, but I only got one. That's with my daughter. But I got a cash value whole term life insurance. This is something that a lot of people were able to get through college because their parents had whole term life insurance. They had a cash reward life insurance, but they do it when they born. I did it 6 years ago.
Can you tell people how to get it?
I get it a whole term life insurance because you got term life insurance and or whatever it is, a whole term life insurance and $150 minimum is where you should start at. So by the time your child get 18, they may have $90,000 to $200,000. You know, I started 6 years ago. My daughter got $19,000. That if she have a plan when she turned 18, I can give her that money, and you only paying yourself back.
Right. Yep.
With 0% interest. It's called a whole term life insurance.
Your own bank.
So it's like, and like the ish people, they do trust bonds. I'm not really into that. I don't really know too much about that, but that's what they do, trust bonds. I got put on with whole term life insurance. So that way when your kids get older and they 18 and they don't meet, like we were talking about college. To me, if it ain't medical, if it ain't engineering, if it ain't a law, it's worthless. It's fucking worthless. So when you say where you could start at or whatever, start with the youth. Fuck the adults. Just start with the youth. Start teaching the youth how to make money. You can make money just by getting a job, but teach them how to invest your money. What can you do with your money? Like the stocks. Yeah. Stocks is where it's at. I got an app called Bloom, and it's teaching me how to invest my money into stocks. That way, you got $5,000 in your bank account. You ain't earning shit from it. You could put $1,000 into stocks, and your shit could be going up and down, up, whatever it is. It's earning some type of money every day, something.
Well, that's just like Vance had got into decentralized tokens real heavy. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about he was like a wizard at it, dude. Like he was like, bro, you go do this, you go grab the gas from here, you gonna do this. And honestly, we made a lot of money in like 2 years. We earned a lot of money off of that. But that was knowledge. Knowledge is key. And he wasn't selfish with it. Like he's like, hey, I'm on my way over to your house. We about to sit down. We about to do this. I'm downloading apps. I'm doing all of this. But the second I told somebody else about it,
it was a scam.
And I'm not making this up. We saw some real commas behind that. Like, no exaggerating. Like, but then there's people he showed me, he say, look, click on this. Dude got 3 million worth of Ethereum in there. This one got 7 million. So it's real. But we so blind to the fact that it's a scam and it's me and your color telling your color that's what it is, man. Yeah.
And then it just becomes a cycle.
And that's one thing I get to these young dudes. A lot of these younger guys, they own that shit.
Yeah, they get to the money green now.
I'm not finna go work for nobody. They sit in front of their computers, they screen.
They learn it.
I can say these young kids, they gonna be, when you, like I said about my son's age, if they get up a little older and be broke, that's on them. Because this new generation now, they get rich.
And you know what motherfuckers call them? You know what motherfuckers call them? Like me being in the construction field, they call the new generation mama's boys, weak motherfuckers. I'm like, bro, they ain't weak because they don't want to come do this back-breaking ass railroad. I'm like, do you see John? Do you see Jerry? Do you see man, I know an electrician, man. This motherfucker a journeyman master. He a master journeyman. This motherfucker make about $70 an hour. I'm like, man, when I get young, I was making a joke. I said, when I get young, I want to be like you. You don't want to be like me. You're going to wake up in pain every single day you wake up. Your knees, your hips, your shoulders. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, God damn, I feel it. Damn.
And who wants to live like that?
Yo, that, bro.
Who wants to live like that? You don't want to live like that. So I do give it to a lot of these young generations because they out here making money. Like
they
from the girls to the guys. Like my cousin, she learned how to do wig just watching her mama, and she goes everywhere and make money. Like she works for herself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these kids are starting young because they do not. I mean, you watch your parent. Your parent don't work 50 plus years.
Ain't got shit to
show for it. You ain't got nothing to. You ain't investing in real estate. You didn't invest in nothing. And that is one thing. Like I honestly had to give it to my mom because one thing my mother did with me, she sat me down and showed me how to move. When my mother passed, it was stuff that my siblings didn't even know my mother had. Like my mother moved her money around and was into stuff that we, you know what I'm saying. She brought medallions. She brought building. Like she showed me how to do things. So like. Now me stepping in her shoes, like okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I can do this. I can do that.
She bought what for Pat?
My mother had medallions, like cab medallions, the number that's on the cab.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And what was the other one?
She had buildings.
Okay.
So is it safe to say now? Watch this. She said her parent taught her that. So her parent put her in a better financial situation to grow.
Right.
So I ain't saying blame your parents, but now while you having kids. Oh, put the blame on yourself if you don't sit up there and set the tone for them.
Right.
That's true.
Because you're right. I told my son, he's like, oh, Dad, man, you make 6 figures. No, I'm not telling you to go to that job. No, this is a back-breaking job. No. This is a job. You're working. Yes. I want you to have freedom when you at a place of business. And it's going to be your business. I've told my son, you either go work a job or create a job. What you want to do?
Yeah.
Which one you want to do? Y'all got the option to create a job now. Like these kids are awesome. They're not weak.
No.
They're some of the strongest. It's to the point where now, man, I'm not working for this. I'm not doing that. I'm not
media
doing
is
this.
their thing. I mean, from YouTube to the gamers, like
they making money. So I'm proud of it. But it goes back to say us older people. Her mom was able to show her that, right? So you got to credit her mama for some of her financial information. Mm-hmm. Now, say if her mama wasn't like that, would you have a building? Would you have this? Would you be a renter? Would you be a homeowner? Would you would have been bought a $100,000 Cadillac with a 10% interest rate? No, your mama say no. You better go buy that car from this, and you better hold off until you get that, and then you can be able to afford this. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of that, like my father, I watched my father. He made a decent amount of money. My father said, "I'm never getting a car note." I never saw my father with a car note. Yeah. He was against that. Now, it could be some personal reasons. But he's told me that, hey, the reason why I want you a car note, that means you got to go to work every day.
Yeah.
He say, with this, when I'm done, I'm done. I still got my car. Mm-hmm. But some of us is like, go to work. Go to work. Go to work. You see what I'm saying?
So speaking of going to work, let me close it off real quick. To close the topic.
Soft, bro. This number 2.
Remember we was talking about, you guys were talking about how a person worked for a company for, when a person retired. Mm-hmm. Because people not really working that long for companies no more. But when a person retires, they kind of like die. Like, let's talk about this. Because you were saying something interesting, because you were talking about social work or something like that. And somebody else was talking about railroading, but it's kind of like common things and kind of like retirees. So I'd like to touch on that in closing.
Well, we both know people that's at work right now, like 6 of them been working at 50 years. I know 2 guys that are going to die there. They're not going to retire. They have a pension, and they're married, so they get the pension and a half. They're just going to die there. That's just what they're going to do.
Why?
They don't want to give up the $200,000 they making every day doing 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. They don't know anything else.
And that was gonna be my thing, because
that money ain't going with that hurts.
The field of like I seen people that's in the social service field who were working if you're working for DCFS or DHS, you done invested your time to this. So when that time is up and you're done, it's like, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have no value. And literally, they die. Like, and it's not like they were sick. It's like they went to sleep and didn't wake up.
I know a few people.
So like their purpose was their job.
That's all they knew.
But you know what that's called though? That's called a generational curse.
Yeah.
That's what these kids is breaking now. They breaking the generational curse, and they being called everything except for what they really doing. That's the same thing with generational diets.
But that's why you gotta speak like
you gotta look at it like this. They work 30 to 40, 30 plus years or whatever it is, and they when they retire, they get a lot of them get sick or whatever because your body is used to you going to work every single day. That's all they know. So guess what? The first thing they do when they retire, they sit on that fucking couch and watch fucking CNN all day. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to
that
keep going.
They get a little part-time.
Walmart,
go to the library
because they cannot sit at home. Like I had a conversation with my supervisor. She's about to retire this year, and I said, "Oh, so you finally about to give it up? Like, what you gonna do?" And she's like, "Oh, I was thinking about it. Maybe I'll go to Walmart for what? House paid off, car paid off. Your kid is good. Like,
go travel.
You know what?
But she travels.
She
travels and she do everything. But she just was like, she cannot sit in the house, and she stated
she's afraid.
She said when her mother retired, she watched how her mother just went down after she. Because she didn't have nothing to do.
The goals ran out. The dreams ran out.
She done did everything she wanted to.
Going to work
the goals
out.
And the dreams ran out. Like when I already said myself, when I retire, I got a house set up over here. I'm gonna have this set over here. Hey, my kids, I'll give my kids my whole structural plan. If something go wrong with me, I'm gone. I'm walking, talking, I'm moving, grooving. I'm not gonna stop. The labor is over. The part of labor is over. So you're gonna go back into labor again? They had no plans. Their goal was where they was at for 30 years. That's all they knew. That's where all their friends came from. Yeah. That's where any structure that they had.
You can't really fault them because that was like the thing at the time.
That was the thing at the time. The thing at the time was to have you built to be a robot.
Yeah.
To work every day. And if you didn't work, you was a loser.
Yeah.
Yep.
You tell, and some people still think that way. You tell somebody, oh man, I just started a new business. I'm like, this bum. They still think that way.
Yeah.
And so you talk like you walk like the guys we used to work with. You ask them, yeah, man, you going to work? I'm like, no, I'm gonna take a couple days off.
Lazy ass.
You ain't trying to make no money.
No, he's absolutely right.
You ain't trying to make no money.
I already made it.
And they will talk about you like you was a piece of shit.
Like you really did not.
Like you a piece of shit.
Listen, I had a guy. You know who he is. I was on a train one day. Now normally at the railroad, it's 12 hours. That's a good day. Yeah. So during the time, it was like we could go home in 8 hours. He'd say, "What you want to do?" Man, I want to go home. Right. So the rumor was, man, this lazy ass motherfucker. I don't even know why he came to the railroad. That motherfucker lazy. He ain't even want to do the 12 hours. No. I just got a car. I want to go out and drive my car. I want to see my kids. I want to go cut the grass. Hell, I want to walk to the store. I want to do something because the money's already made already. You know what I'm saying? But he'd rather sit there. It's never enough.
And I think that's where we are programmed. We are programmed even when you make 6 figures, it's still not enough. I need something else. It's that mindset of like, you gotta have more. But then here's the question that everybody felt to ask themselves: the more you get, the more you're gonna want, right? So when do you stop that? Because eventually you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, inner happiness, it don't mean nothing to you. Yeah. So you just gonna work just to work for what? Just to say you got that money, and then you got that money, you're gonna blow more money because you're making more money. So now you're more in debt.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of people that just like to see it there. Ain't doing nothing, ain't touching it. It's just there.
I know a guy that's
I know a lady that's like that.
You get all the security in the world, but if you drop dead tonight, guess what? That security's just gonna be there for somebody to squab over and fight over.
I know a lady right now that I met through DCFS. That who's like a sister to me. She put me on with this lady. This lady retired and got hella money. When I say she got hella money, I mean when I graduated, she wrote me a good amount of check. Like she just give money away. And when she died, we asked her, like, what you gonna do with your money? She was like, she done signed off like her friend gonna get this. Mm-hmm. One of my play big sister, she got this for her. Like she just, cause she don't have no kids. She's not married. She's living in a nursing home right now.
Yeah, damn.
With money sitting in the bank.
Okay, let me ask you this though: what type of nursing home is she in?
It's a nursing
home. Upscale nursing home?
It's a regular nursing home.
Baby, I'll be in my own home. I can work for it.
No, we can talk about this like when they go. The reason I was saying like I was in Florida And I was thinking about like the nursing homes here that's off of a Social Security check compared to the nursing homes in Florida, like in Fort Lauderdale. Like they nursing homes is like it's different. It's like a whole island. They take you to the casino every day. They go on boat cruises. It's all in their budget.
They like, okay, we gonna make you enjoy your living.
They gonna make you enjoy your living.
She in a regular
nursing home. But that comes from financial.
I know
having that finance.
She in a regular nursing home. Like she was sick last week, and me and my play big sister, we went to go see her in the hospital. She had nobody that came to see her at the hospital. And mind you, the person that she's leaving the bulk of her stuff, but we call her on the phone like, hey, so-and-so in the hospital. Are you going to... Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm busy. Hung up on her.
So why y'all won't educate her on like a joint like he talking about? Like you got the money in your account.
But here's the thing. She has been talked about that. She just don't want to do that. She said for her, it don't... Right, she's okay.
I'm saying, did you really ask her like, man, you know they got luxury homes out here?
And she literally said she is okay, and she's a white lady. She's okay.
But you know what's so crazy too is you gotta look at it like this. You're thinking about people, and we're looking at people like they don't even know their family. They just work. They don't know. They didn't raise their kids.
Right.
So their kids don't even know them. So now they get old, they retire. The kids ain't coming to see them. Their wife don't even really like them. They're like, why are you here? And they ain't got no friends. If they do have friends, they dead. So what you got left?
It's at the end. So we can cut it off, but I did have a topic. I just threw that when you retire and that shit in there.
That was deep, bro. We done, bro. Let's say for the next one, bro. I'm done, bro.
Done. All right.
Yeah, bro. That's a good one, bro. All right, bro. Now since we done, Mike, stop. I want to talk about this number 2 shit. We all agree. This number 2 shit, bro.